Have you ever stopped to think about how practicing detachment in small things could transform your life? Today, we'll explore how, through the lens of Buddhism, detachment can be a key to living with more lightness, peace, and balance in everyday life. Imagine if, instead of clinging to objects, expectations, and fleeting emotions, you could experience a more serene life where these aspects no longer controlled your well-being. In Buddhism, attachment is viewed as one of the primary causes of suffering, as we're constantly bound to desires and anxieties that are often beyond our control. By embracing the art of detachment, we make space in our minds and hearts, freeing ourselves from these invisible bonds that limit our happiness, which we often don't even realize. You'll discover how to apply this philosophy in your daily life through simple, transformative steps. Let's reflect on how detachment can help us deal better with the unexpected, accept changes, and live each moment with more presence and freedom. As you delve deeper into these concepts, you'll see how this practice can enrich your life, bringing more peace and a sense of lightness amid the demands of modern life. Understanding impermanence is the first step toward cultivating detachment. In Buddhism, it is believed that everything is in constant transformation. Moments, objects, relationships, and even our own thoughts and feelings are temporary. By understanding and accepting that nothing is permanent, we start to let go of the need to control everything around us. Think about the small things in daily life: losing an item we like, unexpected changes in plans, or even minor setbacks at work. Each of these situations is an opportunity to practice detachment and embrace the natural flow of life. When we accept that the world is always in motion, the anxiety of keeping everything under control diminishes, and we're invited to flow with reality instead of fighting against it. This acceptance of impermanence allows us to be more present and respond to what life brings with greater calm. Instead of stressing over each situation that doesn't go as planned, we start to see each change as part of the journey, cultivating a calmer, less reactive mind. This helps us live with more balance, experiencing a sense of freedom that comes from trusting life's natural flow. Another essential aspect of detachment is letting go of expectations. In our daily lives, we create expectations even about the smallest details: how people should act, how the weather should be, or how our activities should go. These expectations often lead us to frustration and stress, as reality rarely aligns perfectly with them. When we start to let go of these idealizations and stop expecting everything to go as we wish, we can be more present in the moment and accept situations as they truly are. Imagine a busy day full of commitments that don't go as planned. The practice of detachment helps us embrace reality, freeing us from the pressure that everything must be perfect. Instead, we begin to deal with what actually happens, responding more flexibly and adaptively. By detaching from expectations, we give our minds the space to flow with lightness, without clinging to what should have been. We become less susceptible to minor frustrations and more willing to accept life's unpredictability, gaining resilience and clarity to face new challenges. This transformation is reflected in a calmer mind, less burdened and more open to embracing the present with ease and tranquility. Detachment also extends to how we deal with our emotions. In Buddhism, there is a valuable practice of observing emotions without identifying with them, allowing them to come and go like waves without being swept away by them. When we practice emotional detachment, we're not denying our emotions, but learning to acknowledge them consciously without letting them dominate our reactions and decisions. Imagine a common situation: you're stuck in traffic or have a quick disagreement with someone at work. These situations trigger emotions like frustration, irritation, and anxiety, which we often carry for hours or even days. When we learn to observe these emotions without attachment, we recognize what we feel but let these feelings dissolve naturally without the need for impulsive or prolonged reactions. This emotional detachment helps us cultivate a more serene and resilient mind, one that isn't easily shaken by every minor inconvenience. Gradually, we develop the ability to respond more balanced, instead of being guided only by what we feel in the moment. This brings a calmer attitude toward life, where emotions come and go, but our inner peace remains intact. When we accept our emotions without judgment, we transform our life experience. We begin to experience feelings with more authenticity and less resistance, allowing the mind to remain calm and the heart at peace even amidst the highs and lows of daily life. Generosity is also a powerful practice of detachment. In Buddhism, it's seen not only as an act of kindness, but as a way to let go of attachment to possessions and the desire for something in return. By cultivating generosity, we learn to break free from the habit of accumulating or expecting reciprocity, making room for a lighter, more selfless life experience. Small acts of generosity in daily life, like helping a coworker, giving our time to listen to someone, or donating items we no longer use, teach us to let go of attachment and the desire for control. When we give without expecting anything in return, we experience a genuine form of connection and compassion, where the joy of giving becomes its own reward. This practice of releasing possessions and expectations frees us from the need for recognition and approval. We come to realize that true wealth lies not in accumulating, but in sharing. Generosity, then, brings a sense of lightness and a deep feeling of satisfaction, as it helps us cultivate selfless love and compassion. The more we practice generosity, the more we can see the value in this simple act of giving, contributing to someone's well-being, and freeing ourselves from the constraints of the ego. This detachment connects us to others more authentically, allowing our hearts to become a space for kindness and empathy. Another way to practice detachment is by simplifying material life. In a world that promotes constant consumption, it's easy to accumulate objects and cling to what we own, believing these things provide security and comfort. However, this accumulation often creates a mental burden, filling our minds with concerns and needs that, at the core, aren't essential to our well-being. By practicing simplicity, we start to ask ourselves what is truly necessary to live peacefully. This reflection invites us to let go of items we don't use or that no longer hold real value in our lives. It might be clothing we haven't worn in ages, accumulated items, or even electronics that have outlived their purpose. When we release these excesses, we create physical and mental space, allowing our lives to feel lighter and less cluttered. This material simplification doesn't mean giving up comfort, but rather focusing on what's essential. With fewer things around us, we have fewer distractions and less maintenance to worry about, which contributes to a more organized and calm mind. Letting go of excess leads us to rediscover the importance of quality over quantity and to appreciate what truly matters. By simplifying, we free our minds from the weight of caring for so many things, making our daily experience lighter and less anxious. The sense of clarity and calm that arises with simplicity is, in itself, a form of inner peace that allows us to live more focused and balanced lives. Finally, one of the deepest expressions of detachment is altruistic love. In Buddhism, detachment doesn't mean being cold or distant, but instead cultivating a love that is free from possession and control. This kind of love is based on acceptance and compassion, allowing us to wish well for those around us without expecting them to meet our expectations. To love altruistically is an invitation to respect each person's individuality, recognizing that no one is here to fulfill our needs or meet our demands. Rather than trying to control or change others, we begin to value each person's freedom to be who they are. This not only reduces conflict and frustration but also creates healthier, more genuine relationships where there's room for mutual acceptance. Imagine the impact of this kind of love on our everyday relationships, from family bonds to friendships and romantic partnerships. By letting go of expectations and the need for reciprocation, we experience a sense of emotional freedom and genuine connection with others. We can offer support, care, and understanding without requiring the other person to match an ideal we've created. This type of love strengthens us emotionally because it teaches us to find happiness and peace within ourselves instead of seeking wholeness from someone else. When we love without attachment, we free ourselves from the need for control and possessiveness, and in return, we gain an inner peace and satisfaction that don't depend on external factors. In practice, detachment, whether through accepting impermanence, letting go of expectations, releasing material attachments, or embracing altruistic love, guides us toward a fuller and more serene life. When we learn to let go, we find an authentic freedom and a peace that transcends circumstances. May this path be an inspiration to live with more lightness, presence, and joy, embracing the best of the human journey with a heart and mind at peace. By practicing detachment, we make space for a clearer mind, less burdened by expectations and anxieties. Instead of constantly seeking happiness in external things, we cultivate an inner peace that sustains us, even amid challenges and inevitable changes. Each practice of detachment, no matter how small, strengthens this freedom and makes life lighter. This journey doesn't need to be immediate. Small changes, applied day by day, lead to profound transformations over time. Start with a small gesture, perhaps by letting go of an expectation or practicing generosity without expecting anything in return, and notice the positive effect it has on your life. Gradually, you'll find that by letting go of what you can't control, you gain a peace and strength rooted in what truly matters. This is an invitation for you to take your own steps on this path, experiencing the lightness and serenity that detachment brings. By adopting these practices and reflections, you allow yourself to live with more authenticity and presence, appreciating each moment with a peaceful mind and heart. The art of detachment is, at its core, a celebration of freedom, a conscious choice to live a fuller and more meaningful life.